And then my number one album of the year is Fridayy by Fridayy. Now, if you don't know who Fridayy is, which a lot of people don't because they don't, a lot of times you need to put a face with a name, and Fridayy is not highly visible like that. Fridayy is the guy on God Did with DJ Khaled and Jay-Z and Rick Ross. That's the voice on the hook. So Fridayy put his own album out, self-titled album, and it, to me, top to bottom, all great. The best thing about this album by Fridayy, it merges R&B, gospel, and Afro beats, like a perfect blend of those three genres. And we know that R&B has its roots in gospel, but he found a way that you could tell it's still gospel, not just R&B as it is derived from gospel. It's actually a good blend of modern gospel, modern R&B, and Afro beats. Great mixture, great collection of music. I think it's sequenced great. I think the production is great, which he's produced a lot of it too. And he's a writer. He's a ghostwriter for other people too, but he's a writer, so he wrote most of it, maybe all of it. I don't know. And the content and the lyrics are just great. I think that this is amazing. My favorite song on there is "Stand By Me," but I got a few joints that I just love. Right. Some good features on there too. You got Chris Brown. You got some African artists on there. I can't think of the names right now. But I think y'all should check that album out. I haven't heard any crazy sales numbers or stories about that. I don't know too much if he was nominated for any Grammys or anything, but I do know that if you start your career out with an album, like your major career out with an album like that, it's really only up from there, especially if you can keep on making music in that lane. People who make albums that good and they don't get the recognition they deserve, normally they come into the rest of their career with a chip on their shoulder. And that's normally a very good thing for us as fans because that means they're going to keep on elevating and making great music. That's like T.I., right? T.I.'s first major album was I'm Serious. And he, this is what he had a deal and the label was pushing it and all that type of stuff, but it just didn't perform as good as he would want to. So now for the rest of his career, at least for the next 10, 15 years, the albums that T.I. was making was heaters, bombs, classics in there. Urban Legend, Trap Music, King, T.I. vs. T.I.P., Paper Trail. He went like for the next 5 straight heaters. I call the next 5 straight as classic, but he went crazy for the next 5 albums. So you get these artists and because they call it a sophomore slump normally when your second album is not as good as your first, but when your first album doesn't get the recognition it deserves, Reasonable Doubt. Reasonable Doubt got big later. It didn't get the recognition it deserved at first, and look at Jay-Z's career. Kept a chip on his shoulder. That's the position I think Fridayy is in right now. A good chip on your shoulder to motivate you for the rest of your career so that you never want to feel like that again. Drake is also in that thing too. Even though he got some good recognition, once he started to put out, once Take Care came, the slander that Drake got made him go on a mission. For the rest of his career, you know what it is. He been going crazy. So shout out to Fridayy. I think Fridayy has the best album this year. I think that y'all should go check it out. And that's my best music of 2023.